definitely. I mean, it's Louisiana history, you know, and it's how my father taught us to hunt, and his father did.
Life on Swamp People have always walked a thin line between survival and danger. But what happens when cast members vanish beyond the cameras? Set deep in Louisiana's unforgiving wetlands, the series follows hunters battling deadly creatures for their livelihood. Yet over the years, a darker pattern has surfaced: mysterious disappearances. What really happened to the cast members who never returned? And why do some disappear without a trace? Mitchell Gist, sudden disappearance. Before Mitchell Gist ever stepped in front of a camera, he was a pure embodiment of swamp life. Born and raised in Gonzales, Louisiana, Mitchell spent nearly every day alongside his brother, Glenn, hunting and living off the land. The Gist brothers were inseparable, two men whose bond ran so deep that their names were rarely spoken separately. When Swamp People introduced them to television audiences, viewers instantly connected to their simple way of living. They didn't chase fame or pose for the cameras. They simply existed as they always had, working, laughing, and depending on each other. People resonated with Mitchell's quiet yet strong personality. Fans loved watching the Gist brothers not just because they were skilled hunters, but because they offered a window into a disappearing way of life. They represented the deep soul of Louisiana's wild backcountry. But everything changed on May 14, 2012. On what should have been an ordinary morning, Mitchell was working near Bell River, assembling items on his boat for another day on the water. Witnesses later reported that he suddenly collapsed. Emergency responders rushed him to a hospital in Morgan City, but he was pronounced dead shortly after. He was only 47 years old and just days away from celebrating his birthday. Early speculation suggested that Mitchell may have suffered a seizure, but the final coroner's report determined that he died of a heart attack, an unexpected and natural medical event. The news devastated his family, castmates, and the millions of viewers who had come to love him. Swamp People even dedicated an episode to his memory, but no tribute could fully capture what Mitchell meant to the show or to the swamp culture he represented. Mitchell's death felt different from other television-related tragedies, because his life had always been rooted far from modern complications. People admired him as a man who lived simply, honestly, and close to nature. Through the years, Swamp People has evolved, introducing new hunters, new families, and new challenges. But fans still speak of Mitchell with a kind of reverence. His episodes continue to circulate online, with comments filled with viewers who miss his calming presence and his unforced authenticity. Some say he represented the very heart of the show, untamed, humble, and free in a way few people ever experience. Even now, more than a decade later, Mitchell's memory lingers. Whenever the Gist name appears, when Glenn smiles his shy smile, or when the show pans across Bell River, fans remember the man who once stood there, and in the hearts of fans, Mitchell will always remain exactly where he belonged. After Michelle's death, Glenn totally disappeared from the spotlight, and now fans are asking, where is Glenn and what is he up to? The enduring legacy of the Gist brothers. When Mitchell Gist tragically passed away in 2012, Glenn became a shadow of himself, even retreating from the spotlight. While Mitchell's story became part of Swamp People lore, his brother Glenn Gist has charted a quieter, more private path, one that has left many fans wondering, how is Glenn doing today? As of 2025, Glenn appears to be doing well, at least based on what his fans have shared and the few updates that have surfaced over the years. Unlike many reality TV personalities, Glenn didn't seek the spotlight after leaving the show. In fact, after his last appearance on Swamp People in Season 9, which aired in 2018, he stepped back from television entirely and returned fully to the life that had shaped him long before Swamp People ever existed. There isn't a ton of public information about Glenn's day-to-day life, and that's essentially by design. After years in the swamp, where self-reliance and privacy are part of the culture, Glenn never seemed comfortable with celebrity status. He didn't build a social media empire, launch products, or seek out speaking opportunities or public appearances. Instead, he chose to maintain the same lifestyle that made viewers fall in love with him, one unfettered by fame. One of the few places fans still check for news about Glenn is a dedicated Facebook group called Swamp People, Glenn and Mitchell Gist fan page. In 2023, members of that group shared an update about Glenn that reassured many longtime followers. According to the post, Glenn had made significant positive changes in his life. He had quit smoking several years earlier and had also given up drinking. Those are minor details to some, but to anyone familiar with the health challenges associated with swamp living, such changes can have a meaningful impact. Most importantly, the update shared that Glenn's health appeared good overall. He was still moving around well, getting out on the water, and engaging in hunting and fishing, the activities that have defined his life for decades. For fans who feared that his brother's death might have left him withdrawn or struggling, that news brought relief. There's another aspect of Glenn's life that stands out in the absence of public documentation. There's no record of any marriages or children. While this doesn't paint a complete picture of his personal relationships, it suggests that Glenn has remained single and dedicated to his lifestyle, rather than building a traditional family. For a person whose life revolves around the swamp and its demands, deep roots in one place, namely the old family home, may have provided the consistency his heart needed. Tragically, Michelle Gist isn't the only cast member the show has lost. Which other members have passed away over the years? The tragic final road of Randy Edwards. Randy Edwards was one of the earliest and most memorable faces to emerge from Swamp People. Introduced in Season 1 alongside his family, Junior Edwards, his father, Teresa Edwards, his mother, and William Edwards, his older brother, Randy quickly carved out his own identity on the show. From the moment he appeared on screen, viewers could immediately see that he wasn't just another hunter trying his luck in the swamps. He was a natural. His sharp instincts and deep knowledge of Louisiana's marshlands made him stand out, not only as a capable gator hunter, but also as a genuine star in the making. Fans admired his grit. Whether navigating tight waterways or wrestling with massive alligators, Randy always carried himself with confidence that earned him respect. His years of experience gave him an edge. He could read the water, anticipate danger, and make strategic decisions in moments of high tension. These qualities helped him catch hundreds of alligators during his time on the show, and his contribution to the Edwards family's legacy became an essential part of the early Swamp People storyline. Randy remained on the show for 6 seasons, long enough to cement his place in the hearts of viewers, but short enough to leave them wanting more. In 2014, he stepped away from the spotlight, choosing to leave the series and return to a quieter, more private life. Many hoped he would eventually return to the show, but fate had other plans. Just 4 years after his final appearance on Swamp People, fans received news that would shake the Swamp People community to its core. Unlike Mitchell Gist, Randy's death occurred far from the dangerous swamp terrain where viewers were used to seeing him. According to reports, the tragedy struck in the early hours of September 15, 2018, in Iberville Parish, Louisiana. Randy was driving his 2002 Chevrolet Silverado when he approached a curve in the road and was unable to navigate it successfully. His truck veered off the roadway and crashed into a utility pole. The impact was catastrophic, forceful enough to eject him from the vehicle. When emergency responders arrived, they pronounced him dead at the scene. The suddenness of the accident left fans heartbroken. For many, the news felt surreal. After all, Randy had survived years of dangerous encounters with enormous alligators, unpredictable weather, and the countless hazards of life on the swamp. that his life ended on a quiet Louisiana road rather than in the wild environment where he had proven himself time and time again, made the tragedy even more difficult to comprehend. Authorities collected a toxicology sample as part of standard procedure, though the results were never publicly released. Instead, the focus shifted to mourning, the loss of a man whose presence had made a lasting impact on the show and on the audience who followed his journey. Tributes poured in from fans and those close to the Edwards family. Ronnie, a family friend, announced the heartbreaking news, writing, "It is in deep sadness that I make this post. Junior and Teresa's son, Willie's brother, Randy, passed away in a vehicle accident early this morning. Randy was 35. Fans like Brian Miller expressed their grief as well. Randy left behind his wife and 3 children, who carried the weight of his loss, along with the immense love that fans continued to express in his memory. His death remains one of the most painful chapters in the history of Swamp People. Yet, the show's heartbreak wasn't limited to its human stars. Another loss struck just as deeply, one that came on 4 paws. How did the death of Tyler, the swamp dog who captured the hearts of viewers everywhere, change the Swamp family forever? The swamp dog who stole every viewer's heart. Tyler, affectionately known as the Swamp Dog, wasn't just a pet. He was a beloved member of the Swamp People family, whose presence on the show became as iconic as the gator hunters themselves. While rumors once circulated claiming that Bruce Mitchell, one of the show's most recognizable cast members, had passed away, the truth was far different. Bruce was alive and well, but he was grieving a tremendous personal loss. His loyal companion Tyler died in 2014, leaving a noticeable void in both his life and the hearts of thousands of fans. Tyler had been by Bruce's side for nearly his entire career on the show. The floppy-eared hound first climbed aboard Bruce's boat at just 4 months old. From that moment on, he became a constant presence on the water, leaning over the edge of the boat, watching for movement in the swamp grass, and offering Bruce silent but powerful companionship during long days of hunting Louisiana's most fearsome creatures. Although Swamp People is a show known for danger, adrenaline, and survival, Tyler added a touch of warmth. Fans would often tune in just to catch a glimpse of him trotting along the dock, wagging his tail as Bruce prepared for another day on the water. He truly became a fan favorite, widely recognized as one of the most memorable animals to appear on a reality show. Sadly, Tyler's health began to decline in his later years. According to the Epoch Times, he battled congestive heart failure for about 3 years, a condition that slowly weakened him but never dimmed his spirit. Despite the illness, he continued to accompany Bruce on the swamp boat whenever he was strong enough, refusing to give up the life he loved. On April 28, 2014, at the age of 13, Tyler passed away peacefully. Even though Tyler is gone, his legacy lives on in the hearts of fans who grew to love him. Just as viewers mourned Tyler, another familiar face quietly disappeared from the swamps. What happened to Tommy Chauan, the fearless alligator hunter whose presence once defined the early seasons of Swamp People? The mystery of Tommy Chauan. It has been 7 years since Tommy Chauan, one of the memorable faces of Swamp People, last appeared on the show. A staple of the series during its early seasons, Chauan showcased the grit and determination that define Louisiana's alligator hunters. He was a regular from seasons 1 through 3 and later returned for seasons 6, 8, and 9. Fans who watched him navigate the dangerous swamps with skill and confidence often wondered what became of him after his final appearance. Today, while the show continues without him, Chauan has largely stepped out of the public eye, leaving questions about his life, health, and future pursuits. Chauvan's life took a dramatic and tragic turn in July 2019 when he was involved in a severe accident involving explosives. The incident was devastating. He lost his right hand and suffered a host of other injuries. including ruptured eardrums, damage to his eyes, and multiple abrasions across his chest and arms. The accident required immediate and intensive medical attention, and Chauan underwent 2 surgeries in the first week alone, as doctors fought to save what remained of his hand. In the aftermath, a GoFundMe page was created to help cover the extensive medical bills and rehabilitation expenses. The fundraising campaign painted a vivid picture of his challenges and resilience, emphasizing that while Chauan's road to recovery would be long and difficult, he approached it with courage and optimism. The accident forced Chauan to retire from alligator hunting, the very activity that had defined his career and brought him to the public's attention. While he eventually regained function in his left hand, the loss of his dominant right hand meant he could no longer perform the physically demanding work of hunting alligators. The transition was understandably difficult. Someone who had spent years in the swamps, facing dangers that few others would, suddenly had to adjust to a life without that defining skill. Despite this, friends and supporters noted that Chauan maintained his characteristic upbeat personality and determination, adapting to his new normal with patience and resolve. Chauan's private life remains largely a mystery. Unlike some of his fellow cast members, he has not made his personal relationships or family life widely known. He maintains a public Facebook page, although his activity there has dwindled, with the last post appearing in January 2023. Based on the information available, he does not appear to be in a relationship. Past posts suggest that Chauan focuses on self-growth and personal fulfillment, often sharing reflections about resilience and happiness. In August 2023, for example, he reposted a quote reflecting personal empowerment. "You went and found somebody else, I went and found myself, we are not the same." Around that same period, he also shared a simple declaration, "I love my life." This suggests that despite the hardships he has endured, Chauan is embracing a positive outlook and finding contentment in his current circumstances. Chauan's absence from Swamp People has left a noticeable gap in the series. His expertise, calm under pressure, and charisma made him a favorite among fans. But his story also highlights the risks inherent in the dangerous lifestyle portrayed on the show. While his public appearances have been few, Chauan continues to be remembered fondly by Swamp People viewers. His resilience in the face of tragedy, his ability to adapt, and his determination to maintain a positive outlook have inspired many. While Tommy Chauan's departure showed the personal toll of life in the swamps, another hunter demonstrated that sometimes stepping back takes just as much courage. Ashley "Deadeye" Jones carved her own path on Swamp People, proving that bravery isn't only about facing gators. It's also about knowing when to prioritize life beyond the hunt. But what drives someone like Jones to step away from the spotlight despite such fame and skill? Ashley "Deadeye" Jones' courage to step back. Ashley "Deadeye" Jones made a name for herself on Swamp People as one of the most daring and skilled alligator hunters on the show. First appearing in 2018, she quickly captured the attention of fans with her fearless approach to hunting and her impeccable marksmanship. Her energy and expertise helped her stand out among the seasoned hunters of the Louisiana swamps, earning her a reputation as both a skilled tracker and a bold personality willing to take on challenges that many others might avoid. Over the course of her time on the show, Jones appeared from Season 10 through Season 15, solidifying her place as a fan favorite. She even expanded her presence with a starring role in the spin-off series Serpent Invasion, showcasing her versatility and commitment to the demanding world of wildlife hunting in Louisiana. Despite her rising popularity and the excitement of reality television, Jones made the surprising decision to step away from Swamp People in January of 2025. Her departure came as a shock to many fans who had come to admire her skill, confidence, and dynamic presence on screen. However, the reasoning behind her exit was both personal and deeply relatable. Jones shared that she wanted to prioritize her family, explaining that missing the first month of school with her children had a ripple effect on their entire academic year. As a mother, she recognized that her kids were growing older and becoming involved in more activities, and she did not want to miss these important milestones. While she no longer appears on screen, Jones's impact on swamp people endures. Her time on the show contributed to its continued popularity and helped spotlight the demanding, unpredictable, and thrilling world of alligator hunting. Even after her exit, fans continue to follow her journey, celebrating her achievements both on and off the screen. Her decision to focus on family life has only reinforced her image as someone grounded, thoughtful, and willing to make sacrifices for the people she loves most. Similarly, another beloved cast member, Joey Edgar, faced his own personal challenges, as fans noticed a dramatic change in his appearance over the past year. What exactly prompted Joey's transformation, and how has it affected his life both on and off the swamp? Joey Edgar's transformation. It's been almost a year since fans started noticing a dramatic change in Swamp People star Joey Edgar. The Louisiana gator hunter, known for his strength, grit, and hands-on approach in the swamp, appeared noticeably thinner, sparking concern among the show's loyal followers. Rumors swirled, with some fearing that Joey was battling a serious illness. However, in a recent episode of Season 16, Joey finally addressed the cause of his drastic weight loss, revealing a story of health, adaptation, and family that put fans' worries to rest. The main reason for Joey's transformation is medical. He has diabetes, and over time, he realized that his lifestyle and eating habits needed significant adjustment to keep the condition under control. Rather than ignoring the problem, Joey committed to a healthier diet and overall lifestyle changes. This meant losing weight, but it wasn't an indication of worsening health. It was quite the opposite. By shedding the extra pounds, Joey has been able to manage his blood sugar more effectively, reduce risks associated with diabetes, and ensure he can continue living a full, active life in the swamps of Louisiana. While the weight loss improved his overall health, it also brought some unexpected challenges. Gator hunting is an intensely physical job, demanding strength, endurance, and the ability to wrestle alligators out of the water. Joey's reduction in muscle mass means he can no longer rely solely on brute strength to haul gators aboard. To adapt to these changes, his team has modified his boat with a winch, which allows them to safely lift the alligators out of the swamp without putting Joey at risk. This practical adjustment ensures that he can continue his work while protecting his health, a balance many fans admired. Adding a new dynamic to the story, Joey's daughter Callie is joining him on the show. This move keeps the family tradition alive and introduces a fresh perspective to the swamp operations. Callie's involvement helps offset some of the physical demands Joey now faces. But more importantly, it shows the generational aspect of the Edgar family's dedication to gator hunting. Fans have been thrilled to see father and daughter working together, sharing skills, and passing down the knowledge of hunting and swamp life to the next generation. Executive producer Brian Catalina commented on the significance of Callie joining the show, noting that Joey's transition into a slightly less physically demanding role coincides with preparing the younger generation to take on responsibilities. Callie's involvement is not just practical, it's symbolic of the family's enduring bond and the passing of traditions. Joey's journey over the past year has been both challenging and inspiring. His commitment to managing his health, adapting his hunting methods, and mentoring his daughter demonstrates resilience and dedication. Ultimately, Joey Edgar's story is not just about weight loss, it's about transformation, health, and family legacy. By taking control of his diabetes, adjusting to the physical demands of gator hunting, and bringing Callie into the fold, Joey has proven that it's possible to face challenges head-on while keeping loved ones and traditions at the center. His fans continue to support him eagerly, watching as the Edgar family navigates the swamps with skill, determination, and heart. Through these changes, Joey has shown that strength isn't just measured in muscle. It's measured in adaptability, love for family, and the courage to put health and well-being first while staying true to the swamp life that has defined him for so long. But beyond the cameras and alligator hunts, what has life in the Atchafalaya River Basin taught Troy? And how has it shaped the man fans continue to admire? The King of the Swamp. Troy Landry, famously known as the King of the Swamp, has remained a captivating figure in reality television ever since Swamp People first premiered in 2010. The show, set in the Atchafalaya River Basin, the largest swamp and wetland in the United States, follows hunters as they try to earn a living capturing American alligators during the 30-day hunting season. He quickly became a fan favorite, known not just for his skill in the swamps, but also for his larger-than-life personality and love for the bayou lifestyle. Over a decade later, Troy remains a central figure in the swamp hunting community, with his life off-screen continuing to make headlines. While most fans know Troy for his alligator hunting prowess, he's also starred in his own spin-off, Swamp Mysteries, which premiered in 2018 and is now in its third season. The series follows Troy as he investigates and tries to capture mysterious and sometimes hostile creatures across the southern United States, often with the help of local experts. In one of the newer episodes airing in April 2025, Troy, alongside fellow Swamp People cast member Picklewheat, made a chilling discovery: human remains thought to be thousands of years old. The find, believed to be connected to a forgotten Native American civilization in the swamp, has added an unexpected layer of intrigue to Troy's life beyond the gator lines. However, Troy's life hasn't been free from controversy. According to reports, he was charged with 2 counts of improperly tagging alligators, a requirement for licensed hunters in Louisiana. The Louisiana Department of Wildlife and Fisheries launched an investigation after receiving a tip about untagged gator lines on Lake Palourde in St. Mary Parish. During a sting operation, authorities found evidence linking Troy directly to an untagged alligator, including a dead gator floating in the water with a line still attached. The charges carried potential fines of up to $950 each and possible jail time. Despite the seriousness of these allegations, Troy's social media activity and his return in Swamp People Season 16 suggest the legal consequences were minor and didn't significantly disrupt his daily life. While fans have watched Troy handle swamps and legal challenges, his personal life has recently taken center stage in a more emotional way. In early 2025, Troy shared a heart-wrenching update about his grandson, Crew, who has been diagnosed with a rare liver condition called biliary atresia. Born to Troy's stepson Brandon Hotard and his wife Sheely, Crew initially underwent a corrective procedure that unfortunately failed. The disease progressed to end-stage liver failure, and the young child is now awaiting a liver transplant. Troy took to social media to share the story, expressing hope and asking for prayers while posting a donation link to help cover transplant-related expenses not covered by insurance. Even with the challenges and heartbreak in his personal life, Troy continues to maintain his presence both on-screen and in the swamp community. Season 16 of Swamp People, which premiered in January 2025, saw Troy returning to his roots, hunting alligators and sharing the swamp experience with fans. Beyond the hunting lines and television cameras, Troy's life is a blend of adventure, mystery, and deeply human struggles. But as his story unfolds, another question begins to surface: how much of what we see is a reflection of real life, and how much is shaped for television, reality, or performance? Over the years, the show has attracted growing criticism surrounding its authenticity, production choices, and the way cast members are portrayed. While it remains popular among viewers who enjoy its thrilling swamp adventures and colorful personalities, several behind-the-scenes allegations have raised questions about how much of what the audience sees is truly real. One of the most widely discussed concerns involves claims that certain storylines are staged for entertainment value. An individual who identified himself as a distant cousin of Troy Landry shared in a now-deleted Reddit post that production allegedly orchestrates many of the dramatic moments seen on the show. According to his account, the cast is often encouraged to exaggerate their struggles, reactions, and challenges to heighten the sense of danger and keep viewers engaged. Although unsourced and unverified, the allegation fueled online conversations about the blurred line between reality television and scripted entertainment, especially in shows centered around outdoor survival and hunting. The same source sparked additional controversy by claiming that producers intentionally dumb down Cajun culture to appeal to a broader audience. He alleged that the shows sometimes reinforce stereotypes rather than offering an authentic representation of Cajun communities. Among the claims was the accusation that Troy Landry deliberately exaggerates or fakes aspects of his accent on camera. While Landry has never directly addressed these specific allegations, he has previously expressed discomfort with the possibility of the show over-glorifying the gore associated with alligator hunting. His past comments suggest that even he is aware of the delicate balance between entertainment and respectful cultural representation. Another major point of contention revolves around the way production reportedly treats its cast. Several fan-favorite personalities have allegedly been fired through impersonal methods, such as email, rather than through direct conversations or formal meetings. These sudden dismissals have often led to uproar among viewers, sparking emotional reactions on social media and criticism about how the show manages its talent behind the scenes. Fans have expressed disappointment not only because beloved cast members disappeared without explanation, but also because the manner of their departure seemed abrupt and disrespectful. The resulting backlash has placed the production team under increased scrutiny, with many questioning the fairness and professionalism of their decisions. Together, these allegations, staged scenarios, cultural misrepresentation, and questionable treatment of cast members form a broader conversation about the authenticity of the series. While none of these controversies have significantly diminished the show's popularity, they have contributed to ongoing debates about how reality TV blends truth with performance. Viewers continue to enjoy the drama, action, and unique lifestyle showcased on screen, but the accusations have undeniably complicated the show's reputation. What do you think of Swamp People? Share your thoughts with us in the comments section. Remember to like, share, and subscribe for more. Also, click the next video showing on your screen. You will enjoy it.